Alright, so this is part 2 of Lost Love. This deals more with answers to questions people have asked me about the living situation that I've been in growing up. You can find out more about the story itself, Googling my name. These questions were asked by people, cops that I've met that knew my story, past relationships, friends will ask me questions. So the first question that I wrote down, why didn't you ever try to escape? Growing up, I learned that whatever I said that my parents, no matter what I said, my parents would call me a liar. They would tell people not to trust me, while at the same time they themselves would be lying about stuff, Like, growing up, when I was in high school, I wasn't allowed to use computers. And, all the teachers and the principal was like, that's really weird. Why isn't he allowed to use computers? My parents were like, oh, it's some religion that we're in. And they never named the religion, and they asked me, like, what religion are you that you're not allowed to use computers? Are you like what are you? I'm like, I'm just Baptist, like, I'm just pretty sure Baptists use computers. Parents, they'll tend to listen to other parents, especially when they're talking bad about their own kid. So if my parents told another pair of parents that I was a liar, who are those parents gonna believe? Me, who's not gonna defend myself because I'll get in trouble, I'll get beat, you just can't. Or my parents, who are just calling it out. Well, then it seems really obvious that I must be in the wrong because, I'm not defending myself. If I had successfully escaped, I'm pretty sure that's illegal because I was underage, and that would be called running away. And then, if I escaped, I'd have to find a way to survive. And in the end, if I did learn how to survive, I might still end up getting caught. Like, you can only survive so long without being noticed. If I got caught, I really wouldn't want to come back because I just wouldn't hear the end of it, I mean, I was already in a bad situation, but I know they could make things worse. A question that I was asked is, did you keep your faith? I kept my faith throughout the majority of the situation. I still, in my heart, felt that there was no other God. I wasn't gonna abandon my faith in Jesus. The situation where I felt my weakest was when I started hearing voices and I didn't know what to do with myself. And that was mainly because I was just annoyed and angry and just really irritable, and hunger does not help being angry at all. In the end, it was really obvious to me that Jesus was my Lord and Savior, and that I just felt like it might take many, many years, but eventually I'd finally be let out. And in that situation, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, I'm gonna make something of myself when I get out of this. It wasn't a matter of will I get out of this, it was when I come out through this, I will make something better of myself. I will do something with myself. I didn't know exactly what I was gonna do, but I mean, if this video reaches a lot of people, that's a start. The third question is, why aren't you angry? And to be honest, I don't see any reason to be angry. It's not, I mean, the world doesn't owe me anything. I personally, as I was going through it, I was thankful that my situation wasn't worse. I've had a lot of scares, and I could see things being worse than they really are. Every now and then the lights would go out and I'd be stuck a couple days without any lights. And that is in the bathroom. There's no window. There's no light at all coming in. Not even under the door. They put a towel under the door. I would start seeing things. It's one thing when you have voices in your head. It's another when you have voices and you're seeing weird things. It was horrifying. Just to me, it seemed really selfish to come out angry. So I decided not to live like that. I was gonna be happy. I was gonna be me. I was just gonna be normal me. And this is me. The fourth question is, how did you occupy your time? I had once heard that this dude that was held captive in Africa, that one of the best things he did to occupy his time was to exercise. He said that you know, he would exercise. It wasted his time, but it made him stronger when he came out. And I tried that. It was the worst decision I made. One, it was because I was always hungry, so burning calories was not agreeing with that. The other thing was, that exercising made time feel slower. If I could have swore I was exercising for like 3 hours and it ended up being like 15 minutes. Being malnourished, I didn't look any better, so that didn't work at all. I honestly have no idea what this dude was talking about. Unless he was getting a buffet every night, you know, he had to work it out. For a little while, I tried drawing pictures into the carpet. I rubbed the whole carpet one way and used my finger, and I, draw the other way. This was actually pretty fun for a little while, until you start noticing the carpet was rubbing up, and you had to hide that. So I stuck it under the wall, in between the carpet and the wall. And your fingers, they became like super smooth, and it was almost like plastic. It was really weird. Like you had no fingerprint. Don't try that stuff at home. Don't do anything illegal. When I was in the bedroom, I tried to sit as motionless as possible. This was after the carpet. I would sit as motionless as possible, and I would literally think about my favorite games, levels that I played through them. I would I tried to replay the entire movies in my head. I would think about conversations I've had with people and things that I wish I could have said differently. I think everybody does that, just like all the time. But that's what I did. And as I was thinking about all that stuff, I had a set amount of positions. I think I had like 12 positions or something. And every time that my legs would get numb, I would switch positions. This made 20-hour days feel like maybe like an hour. Like days flew by. It was absolutely amazing when I figured this out. Then after all that, I ended up in the bathroom, and I tried to do the same thing. I tried to sit as motionless as possible. It's literally like I could not do it. Everywhere I sat, it hurt. The floor was hard. The tub is hard. I could not sleep in the tub, by the way. That was hard. That was really hard to do. The toilet was hard. There's nowhere to get comfortable. And after that, I ended up actually taking the toilet paper and I started crafting chess pieces. I ended up with like 300 characters, so this definitely took the cake for not wasting time, but occupying my time in the bathroom. Played a lot of chess. I guess I got decent at it, pretty decent. When I ran out of toilet paper, I had to use my characters as toilet paper. It was pretty weird. I wouldn't recommend that. That was actually a problem in itself, as I really had a hard time sleeping. I may have slept at most like 4 hours on average, I guess, depending on where I was, because I was in like 4 different houses. There's different situations, like one house had a radio playing really loud, but they like made it to where the sound wouldn't leave the bedroom, and so that was really hard to sleep because it was constantly blaring in my ear. Sometimes they would have mattresses and sometimes they wouldn't. The bathroom was pretty hard to sleep in. I had a pillow, thankfully, but that was about it. It's really hard to sleep on basically concrete. Wouldn't recommend that either. Another situation of why it was really hard to go to sleep was they blocked off the ventilation. They did not want me to be comfortable. During the summer months, I felt all the heat in the house. Like it was really hot. Like I tried to take my pants off and stuff, but I never knew when they're gonna walk in, so I couldn't do that. When it's cold, I would take my pillow and like lay it on my back, and I would try to stay warm, but your legs start getting numb and stuff, so it's really hard to sleep. They would wake me up first thing in the morning and let me use the bathroom before my stepdad actually went to work. So if I started to doze off, my mother would bang on the door. The only reason I believe that she knew was that I was dozing off, because I'm pretty sure they may have had a camera in the computer speaker box. And I think that because every house that I'd been in, they had that computer speaker pointed at me. And there was a wire going under the wall, so I'm pretty sure that would make sense that they would have a camera in there, The sixth question, I think this was from a police officer actually, is what did I eat? Most of the time I ate these frozen burritos that came in a purple package. You can find them at, you know, your Kroger, Publix. Actually, I don't know if Publix has it or not. Probably do. Walmart, just about anywhere. That was most of my meals, was some burritos. These were small burritos, not like Taco Bell's super-sized meals, you know. One time, I think I was given pot pies like 3 days in a row. My stomach actually, I felt like it just went solid, it turned into ice or something. It went really cold, and I actually felt my heart beating really hard, but like slow. I think I went 2 days in a row without eating. I was trying to do a fast. I really wanted change. I wanted some attention from my parents, to make them realize that I didn't want to be here. I would do anything to be out of it, and they obviously denied it to me. Do I still weigh 85 pounds? I don't know about you, but I don't look like no 85 pounds no more. No, I'm not like 200 pounds, but yeah, I actually weigh like 125. It really didn't take long to gain weight. I grew about 8 inches, so I'm like 5'7" now. Being malnourished means that you have a stunted growth. Yes, that's why I'm only like this short, you know? This tall, this short. I don't know. That's why I'm this tall. So the question is, so are your parts down there underdeveloped? I can understand this question. It's not as a scientific question, you know? And Google says that I am above average. I think the most common question that I've ever received was, why did your parents do it? To be honest, I don't know, because they didn't really tell me. And a quick update on the ex. I am through with her. We texted a little bit afterwards, and good lord, she was the coldest person that, well, I guess she wouldn't be the coldest person I've ever met, but she was pretty cold. Her loss, you know? Valentines came along. I actually did ask like 5 girls if I could be their Valentine. They all said yes. One girl in particular I really liked, actually. I call her a library girl. I don't know if it's weird or not, but I would go in like every Tuesday and Thursday, because that's when I come to campus, and I would see if she was there, because she says she's there all the time, and she's also said that she wanted to talk more. I highly doubt she's gonna see this, but library girl, I think your name was Ashley. If you see this, find me, because you seem pretty great. If I have a future girlfriend and it's not this person, I'm so sorry that you had to watch this. Yeah, it's probably really awkward. Why are you even watching this? Like, this is old by then. Yeah, this is probably really old by then. Go back to what you're doing. I'm pretty alone. I'm actually recording this at like 11:30 at night. Yeah, there's nobody here. There's a cop there.
God talk to me in silence, but I hear him every time, man.
Thank you, God. God bless you. Thank you
Last
so
night
much.
took an L, but tonight I bounce back. Wake up every